Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we are going to be putting a Hellcat spoiler on my 09 RT. I decided to start recording after I pulled the spoiler off, but it's simple to take it off. It's just once you pop the trunk lid, there's 4 bolts, and then you can just peel your spoiler off. After I did that, you probably will experience it. There's going to be a lot of junk and debris underneath there, so try to do your best to get that all removed. This is a pinstripe remover. You should get one of these if you don't have one already. It removes stickers and decals and all that kind of stuff without really damaging your paint or clear coat. And I wanted to try removing the stuff off my deck lid for that reason, but unfortunately it just was not cutting through whatever was on my trunk. Alrighty, so the eraser wheel was not enough to cut through the adhesive from the spoiler by itself, so we're applying some goof off here, and you let it sit for 2-3 minutes, wipe it off with the microfiber towel, and it works pretty good. You have to be careful, it will eat through your paint, so I'm going to use some glass cleaner to help get all the residue off. I got a little impatient with the goof off, and I only let it sit for probably 60 seconds or so. Definitely let it sit for 2-3 minutes. You'll have far better results that way, but it is imperative you clean the surrounding areas up as soon as possible and as thorough as possible, because again, it can eat through your paint. It's hard to see, but these are the grommets that I use to fill the holes from the factory RT spoiler. I will link them below. I use the smallest grommets in the kit. You probably will too. Make sure though that you put grommets in all 4 of the holes, because you don't want a chance water getting into the holes even underneath the spoiler. This is kind of backwards, but right here I'm showing the guides that I talk about in the next segment, and I'm just installing them into the spoiler, getting ready to place the spoiler on my deck lid to drill the holes. And Amazon came by, but that is in car parts, so that's a bummer. I'm also trying to use painter's tape to keep the spoiler in place so I can get an idea of what it's going to look like and where it's going to lay out at, but I just waxed the car probably 2 days prior to filming this, so for some reason the tape just was not sticking to that, and it got really frustrating. Alright, so this is where it gets fun. This is where you have to drill into your trunk lid. This is gonna intimidate some people. It intimidated me a little bit, if I'm honest, but you know, we got it done, and that's the important part. Don't be intimidated by it. You can make it look really decent with what's included in the kit with the spoiler, which is the mounting bolts, the felt tape, gasket stuff, and the guides. The guides are going to be what makes this whole situation a lot easier, because it spaces out the holes for you and takes the guesswork out of it. And to do that, you just take the guides, you stick them into the threaded holes on the spoiler, you lay out the spoiler on your trunk lid where you want it to go, and this is important to take your time here. Lay it out, get it good, make it even, symmetrical, all that stuff. And once you get to that point, you just tape the guides to the deck lid and remove the spoiler. Once you do that, the guides will still be in place, and that allows you to see where the holes are going to be at that point. And then you just drill your pilot holes, and you remove the guides from the deck lid and drill the holes to the proper size for the bolts to fit the rope. You will also have to drill out the deck lid on the bottom side to accommodate for the bolt head and your socket, so you can tighten it all up. Now, I tried using a step drill bit and it would have worked, but I just couldn't find my big drill bit, so I went with this one and hoping it would work, but it didn't. So I ended up having to get an actual drill bit and just wallowing it out. Aesthetically, it's ugly, but I don't care, because here soon I'm going to be replacing it with a non-spoiler deck lid and repainting the car in the next couple of months, so I'm not too concerned about that. But if you're going to be keeping your deck lid, I would advise you to really take your time here, because it's going to pay off. And here is the gasket stuff that I mentioned before. As you can tell on this spoiler, it has an outline. This is where the tape is actually supposed to go, so make sure you follow that for the best possible seal to your trunk lid there. As I'm finishing up with wallowing out the holes on the bottom side of the trunk lid, my camera died, so it didn't pick up the rest of that. I can take pictures so you can see my mishap with the gasket tape. I ran it around the whole perimeter of the spoiler, and that was not the right way to do that. So I fixed it and cleaned it up quite a bit. And once I get the new deck lid and run this setup on that, I will clean it up even more. But here's the finished product, and I think it came out great.